and welcome to the Biotech Buzz, ladies and gentlemen. How are we looking? How are we sounding on this wonderful afternoon? Vivi, looks like
Hello.
looks like you are in quite the lovely place. You are in vacay mode. Love the
I
hat.
am. I am on vacay mode. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, yeah. Everything looks and sounds great. Uh, I'm excited to
Let me
have
let
you.
me show you guys the surround so you can see.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
See it?
Whoa! Wow, I wish I was there right now. Wish we were hosting the show completely from there. Maybe we need to move the Benzinga office to
There's some
Mexico.
waves over there. See?
Have you been surfing them? Do you
Yeah, I
surf?
surfed this morning. Yeah.
Oh wow,
I
okay.
went out. I went out like at 8 o'clock in the morning. How have you
All right.
been?
I've been good. I've been good.
Surviving
Uh
the crazy market or what?
I just been mostly crying about it, but that's all right. Um Folks, all right, before we hop into it, you know what we're here for. We are here to talk biotechs and let's run with that intro. All right. It's the Biotech Buzz. Vivi's here from Mexico.
Awesome.
I'm here from
Yeah,
Detroit.
somebody was asking me. This is it's a little town called La Saladita. It's 30 minutes from Iztapa. So it's mainland Mexico. It's just a beautiful place. Yeah, it's. I've been coming here for a long, long time. They have a perfect little left, a lot of long borders in the water. I've never seen so many girls in the water. This is like if you guys are single and surf, this is the spot. This is the spot to be. I never seen. There's the ratio got to be like 5 to 1 in on a lineup. I never seen so many cute girls surfing there. So it's a lot. It's mainly a longboard wave. So a lot of girls there.
There we go. The advice that really matters. Vivi's handing it
Yeah.
out. What's the airport you fly into if you're going there?
So you fly into Stapa, Zihuatanejo. So
Okay.
it's kind of like a hassle to get here because there's not really nonstop flights. Actually, there was a nonstop in certain days, so I'm heading back on a nonstop, but I usually have a connection in Phoenix. So East Coasters, but probably a little bit harder to get here, but it's a beautiful place for sure. Great place to learn how to surf too.
Awesome. Hey, maybe I'll go there to learn to surf.
You
All right.
should. And the water is like 84 degrees too.
Oh
It's
wow.
amazing. Yeah, it's like warm water, like a bath water. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Well,
So
if I ever
do you want to pull up our BCRX because I think there's it dropped below double digits.
it did, yeah. We are sitting in the nines. Um so let me add that to the stream here and let's get started with some biotech stocks.
Yes.
All right. There we go. BCRX sitting at 992 right now.
Yes. So I added on my long position when it was like 975. I couldn't resist, so I bought more. I been talking to a couple physicians. Everyone is really, really excited about this company. Kind of upset that the price action wasn't as great when we had our Factor D results. But we were able to prove a concept. And the crazy thing is, the studies were so good that we skipped phase 2. So we went from phase 1, now we're going straight to phase 3. So when we initiate phase 3 for PNH, it's going to be huge because not only the Factor D pipeline has indication for PNH, but also has 7 other potential indications, all rare diseases. So I feel like this company is going to get acquired just like how Alexion has been. I have no problem holding for a few years. I was even tweeting about Fate. Fate 5 years ago was $6, and today it's $74. So I feel like this is one of those stocks that will get you rich if you're patient. So I don't even mind trading it. I just bought it. Now I have a 15,000 shares. So if that hits 70 one day, I probably can retire a little bit sooner. So I feel like this is a gold mine. I'm gonna keep telling you guys that at 992 is still a steal. And we have an approved drug already, so it's a lot more de-risk because it's now we have a product that it's now we're going to have a lot of the sales results because they start launching the drug in Q1. But a factor D is where this company is going to get from, $9 to $50, $60, $7 one day, $70 one day, just how fate was. So I'm a pretty big believer on this one. And then I wanted to talk to you guys about KMPH because that's another opportunity for you guys to add. I feel like with the market, the market kind of transitions through phases. And I feel like the small cap biotech is getting a hit now, and we are like on that transition phase where they're all just getting hammered. So I feel like you just have to be patient, hold. But I have no concerns about these two companies for sure.
Quick question. For BCRX, actually, I'm going to put that ticker back up.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that phase 3 is probably like the least likely for it to succeed.
Yes.
Because you mentioned that you have the best opportunity to make money on phase 1 and 2, and you're still saying this is a hold. So you just think it's going to make it through phase 3, or are you trying to just make money before then?
No, I do believe because phase 1, we were able to do a proof of a concept. I was looking at the probabilities. If you already, the phase 2 is the worst one. When I was showing you guys on my show and looking at all the statistics, actually phase 2 is the worst one, not phase 3. Okay. So phase 1 is the one you make the most money, and then phase 2 is like, and then phase 3 is when you have probably like a 70% chance. But because the phase 1 was so good in here and we were able to prove concept, and there is a very big, large pipeline that you can have a 7 to 8 rare disease products, I feel still very confident that we're going to do well, that we have a good molecule in hand. But like anybody else, some people in terms of a strategy, because there's already an approved drug. So here's the main difference, Rohan. When you don't have an approved drug, it's one and done, right? So when you don't have a product to sell and you don't have a license all over the world, it's one and done. You don't do well in phase 3, you're done, if you don't have any product. So BCRX already got the risk because we have an approved drug. So this changes how I would invest. If there's no approved drugs, yes, I would probably be in and out of the stock. But we already have an approved drug that potentially is going to produce $500 million in sales every year. So it's different how you act in regards to dealing with biotech if you have an approved drug or not. So if you have a company that has everything in phase 1 and you have that one drug in phase 3, yeah, it's going to take 6 years to get your money back if that fails. But right now it's already the risk because we already have an approved drug. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yeah. Okay, yeah. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, so the same way with KMPH, we have an approved drug, right? This is not like, oh, let's try the lotto. Because, on Biotech, when we did the conference, I was showing you guys, it takes 10,000 molecules to get to one approved drug, and it takes almost $1 billion in investment to get to that one approved drug. So KMPH and BCRX, they both have approved drugs. So it's a different way how we approach investment. So I'm really excited about this. I was able to talk to a manager that's managing down Zona, California, and he used to work for Takeda, which Takeda purchased Shire with Vyvanse. So everyone that they're hiring right now is from the Vyvanse team. And I was talking to one of my psychiatrists, I was asking him about this drug. And I said, hey, this is a Focalin XR, is a prodrug of a Focalin. What do you think about this drug? And he said, well, I really liked Focalin, but it didn't last longer. So the main difference here, Rohan, is we have a drug that because it's a prodrug, we're able to get that fast onset of action, 30 minutes, just like Focalin XR was only ADHD medication that had that onset. But now we got the label that it lasts 13 hours. So we are addressing that one issue that physician, a friend of mine, was telling me that,
it's like
that
best
he
of
didn't
both
like.
Worlds then, right?
So this drug is going to be, in my opinion, is going to be a blockbuster because now you're going to have all those pediatricians changing from Adderall to this drug because it works within 30 minutes, it lasts 13 hours, and you don't see loss of appetite. You don't see insomnia with this drug. So it's just a cleaner version of a Focalin XR. So they are. When I was talking to the manager, I said, "Why don't you have a sales force already ready to go?" And he was telling me that I think they had some kind of a manufacturing issues, but most kids are off the medications when it comes to summer. So they're launching in July, so which is going to be a really good when they launch in July, because they're going to be able to grab all those kids in July and August. They're starting school in August, September. So these kids will be off the meds, and they're going to be coming back into their meds and going to see their peds in a summer. So really, really, really excited about that company. You just have to be patient. Right now we don't have a sales, and we don't have a launch. So we're gonna, it's heavily shorted too. So you're just gonna have to sit and wait, unless, of course, what if there's an offer for a buyout? And then if you sold because the market, you missed that opportunity to be sitting on a company that's being acquired by another company. So I'm holding long. I don't care about the fluctuations of the market. These two companies, I'm a firm believer, is already the risk.
I was going to say, there's got to be pretty big demand for a buyout then also, like potential at least.
Oh my God. I mean, this is the biggest, one of the biggest ADHD drugs since Vyvanse. So it brings something different to the table. And Vyvanse was also a pro drug from a different drug in this one. So I feel like a lot of the pediatricians, they don't like Adderall because the kids, they lose their appetite, they cannot sleep well. They have the shakes. So a lot of parents put an Adderall because it works quickly, it works fast, but also has all those side effects associated with the Adderall. So this is really going to kind of take some of that market from Adderall for sure, in terms of being safe and working fast. So these kids can take the medication before they go to school. Imagine you take the medication within half hour before the bell rings. You are already ready to learn, So I do feel like this company has a huge potential. So I don't care to leave it on my portfolio, even if it bleeds or if it doesn't bleed, because I'm a firm believer.
There we go.
For sure. So I wanted to talk to you guys about another one that I'm still holding the fort. Is ARDX.
All
so
right.
The PDUFA date is April 29th. I feel very confident I'm going to hold through PDUFA, just because I know people that are working for this company. They have their sales force ready to go. So this company already are waiting for the approval, and ready to get this drug to the market. So the biggest advantage of this drug is it's not a phosphate binder. It has a different mechanism of action that blocks the phosphate. So a lot of patients, when they're on dialysis, you get phosphate from foods, but when you're on dialysis, you are retaining more phosphate that you're supposed to retain. So patients have to be on a medication, and a lot of these phosphate binders, the pill burden, they have to take 64 pills a day. So believe it or not, this goes down to 12 pills a day or 14 pills a day. So this is going to address pill burden. So it's going to help with compliance. And there was a physician, a nephrologist on Twitter was telling me that he likes that the pill burden is going to be addressed, but he doesn't like that there is he told me 16% of discontinuation due to side effects. So in my opinion, there's still 84% of patients that did well and did not discontinue due to side effects. So it's still very promising, because the pill burden is one of the biggest issue with with this company. So I'm holding through PDUFA. I feel like it's gonna be, but now with the market, Horan, I don't even, we don't even know how this is gonna go. Either way, it can go either way. We get an approval, the sell off, it's so fast that you don't even see, a good gain for the day. I mean, we had I'll put it there, Rohan. We had a KNSA. It got approved. It went back like $3, and I end up having to sell at a loss because I didn't want to hold because they're still going to launch the product. But it was the day of a PDUFA, and it went up $3 before the market and completely tanked. So you just have to be cautious that, I got it. I got in at a 650. And so I'm hoping that we still have 3 weeks to go to see some run up. And hopefully we can see some action at the day of the approval, but nothing is guaranteed now with this market. People are just selling, So I don't know how the market is going to react, but I'm holding. We'll see what happens.
Wow, but
I believe
64 is 64 to what is it? 14 pills a day then?
Yes,
That's a big difference. Yeah,
it's crazy. I have here. What did they talk about here? Because I had a whole thing on a company. And they say the pill burden, let me see, I'll tell you guys.
And Jim Stocks in the comments, did we talk about NSPR yet? Not yet. We've just covered BCRX, Pharm, and now ARDX.
Yeah. So let me see here if I find here. So here's it say, the unique mechanism of action allows tenapanor to be active in many patients at a dose of 10 to 30 milligrams twice daily, as opposed to the multiple gram quantities per day required to the phosphate binders. Over the course of a week, the amount of tenapanor required would be less than 500 milligrams, a total of 14 small pills, I guess, a week. Whereas the amount of a phosphate binder required based on packet inserts would be 10 to 30 milligrams or 64 large pills, depending on a phosphate binder. The company believes a significant pill burden advantage will result in better adherence and compliance, which could lead in more consistent efficacy in patients on dialysis. So that is, and that's what they say here. It has been specifically designed to work exclusively within GI tract, thereby significantly reduce the amount of a drug that's absorbed in the bloodstream in the potential side effects that could occur. So it just have a different type of a mechanism of action. So I got a lot of hit with NSPR because NSPR, nothing has changed with the company. I am a huge bag holder right now, you guys. I have an average of like 105, and but it's on my IRA, and I feel like I cannot even claim my losses if I sell. So I don't plan to withdraw my IRA anytime soon. It's my retirement, so nothing fundamentally has changed. But when I talked to you guys about it, presented about this drug and the Seaguard, we didn't know about the announcement of the RS, and we didn't know the market was going to take a dive. So they had a vote in March, and they postponed because I don't think they got the approval. They postponed the vote for April 14th. And I feel like we're gonna see a lot of pain until the RS vote it's up. So if the RS vote gets approved, I feel like somebody was telling me, oh, they've been already through 4 S's and nothing has happened, but they were not closer to having actual product in the United States and beginning trials. They were not close of having, distribution in China and Brazil. So I feel like now we do have an actual product around the world, and we are closer than ever to get an approval here in the United States. So I think we were like a year and a half, 2 away. So until we don't have the RS vote in, I feel like we're going to see this pain. Now, if they do an RS vote, my only hope is the float of the stock is going to be so small, therefore it's any kind of a news that we get, we're going to be able to push that price up. So if I were in a regular account, I would have had a stop loss, and I would have sold. Even if I took a little bit of a loss, I would have waited for the RS vote. And once the RS is out of the way or in a way, I would have buy back. But that's not the reality that's going on. So just like many of you guys out there, I'm feeling the pain. I am completely red. I have a lot of shares of the stock, but fundamentally, I still believe that Seaguard is going to be a winner. So, my only reassurance is that I have all these insiders that actually spend money and bought it, like Gary Ruben, the god of stent in the United States, bought 700,000 shares at a 68 cents. So he is losing money right now. And so when the RS come, he's going to lose more money at the beginning until things settle and we get news that can push the price up. So fundamentally, guys, nothing has changed. The company, I think, it's amazing. Seaguard is an amazing product. But, fortunately, we have this RS in the mix. And I think that we're going to, see some bumps on the road before we can see a progress. Somebody was telling me too, what if somebody was telling me about this? Because we talk about the RS. Shoot, I forgot. Somebody was asking me something about Inspire MD. If I have that thought back, you guys, I'll let you guys know.
We'll get back to it.
I was going to address something about that as well. So we have April 14th. Oh, somebody was asking me, how about, are they going to be delist? No, because they were above $1 for 10 days. So they got at least 6 months to go. So we need to worry 5 months from now, if we continue below 63, below $1, for 10 days, that we have the risk to be delist. And they'll claim that they wanted to be on ARS because they want to be moved up to NASDAQ. So if they go up to NASDAQ, let's assume if they do at 10 to 1, that would be at $6.38 right now. That would be, but if they did 10 to 1, the float will be only 10 million. It's a very tiny flow because the flow right now is 100 million. So that is my hope. It's not like they're not doing our ass and the float is still huge, where it takes a lot of movement, a lot of, exchanging hands to move the price up. When you have a small float, you don't need that much volume to move the price up. And that's why Horan with the KMPH, that's why we have such a huge swings. It can go from 9 to 14 on news, because the float is much smaller than most stocks, So there's advantages and disadvantages of a small float, because when you have a great news, it go up a lot. When you have bad news, it goes down a lot, So that would be it. Anybody else? Any questions? You guys?
Yeah, so we have a little bit of time left. I think we should maybe talk about Seal, and also let me bring on your old friend Spencer here.
Oh, I was not prepared for this.
I know, I surprised you.
You're totally throwing me off, Rohan. Oh my God. Vivi, where are you right now?
I am in Mexico.
Oh my goodness.
I still have, a beach hair, don't care. That's what I post on Twitter. I'm like, beach hair, don't care.
Okay. It's downright balmy in Michigan. It's like 50 degrees today, so it's like a heat wave.
Yes. So somebody was asking me about ITRM. You guys, I took a huge loss because I needed to balance my gains and losses for the year, and I already had too many gains. So I took quite a bit of a loss on ITRM when the market was taking a dive, just for my own tax purposes. And I felt that I didn't want to, it was going down. Now it's 134. And PDUFA is not until June, July. And I saw some articles talking about the chances of this antibiotic. There's a lot of controversy about getting that drug approved. And to be honest, I didn't want to hold through PDUFA with this company. And I felt like I could use my money someplace else for those 4 months to go, April, May, June, July, 3 months to go. So that's why I'm no longer hold the ITRM. I took a huge loss on that, unfortunately. But you said you want to talk about Seal?
Yep. Yeah.
Seal, I'm not too familiar with Seal. I'm going to have to get back to you guys on Thursday about that one. SEEL, right?
That's correct. We will bring it up. Alexander will bring it up for the next one. All right. Let's see. Do you want to cover? We talked about ITRM.
Oh, I can talk about BRPA.
Sure.
It hit my stop loss, RLFTF, but I saw the warrants for BRPA still very cheap. I think $15, and the stock is over 40.
What was the ticker?
The ticker is, there's two tickers, the BRPA is the ticker for NeuroRx, because they're splitting profits with this new COVID drug. And the other one,
BRPA?
BRPA. BRPA.
Big Rock Partners, is that it?
Yes, yes.
All right.
So they are doing a merger with the NeuroRx, and the NeuroRx is splitting profits with the RLFTF, a company out of Europe. And they had a huge announcement with their phase 3 results, less hospitalizations. I felt like the results were really, really promising. And I feel like we are going to end up getting approval. It met all the primary endpoints. And I'm still a believer in this company. I just need to find an opportunity. I don't know which one I would go back to, BRPA or LTF. I need to see what upside I'll get the most. But I feel like we're going to get approval. And I feel a lot better being, if I get COVID again, that there's a drug like that available, for patients all over the world. So I think that's a big winner for sure.
All right. Awesome. There we go, folks. And unfortunately, we are running low on time here. But up next, we do have Spencer and the ETF show. He's got a special guest today. Spencer.
I'll look into the chat, you guys. And on Thursday, I'll touch on those if you guys want me to.
There we go.
I'll do it on my vacation.
Yeah. Vivi, thank you so much for joining us, taking the time out of your time at the beach to give us some biotech stock info. Folks, we will be back for another episode on Thursday.
I'll see you guys on Thursday.
All right.
Take care.
See you then. Spencer, want to hop on?